Went back into Act 1 the last time and basically got everything I missed the first time around, which included the Wanderer's Crest and fighting the Skull Tyrant. Then we got all sorts of items, which also included the Curved Claw. And now me and Hornet are running towards the Slab, and we're coming out of the Coral Chambers. So we have to fight these two enemies before we move on, since I do need some rosaries. Kind of low on that right now, which is basically the theme of this game for me at this point. Just had to heal. And got hit right after that. I'm really liking this claw line since it does allow for more attacks in the air. Had to avoid that one. Alright. Gathering the rosaries as well as the shards. Now we're back in the Slab. The last time around, I basically just turned back at this point. Now we're just going to be exploring this place. Well, trying to explore it. I don't know how far we're going to get into it, but I'm trying to actually get at that item that was locked in that cage. And we got ourselves a frayed rosary string. Just going to continue this way. Found myself a switch. Activated it. And now a new pathway just opened. I'm really trying to find myself a map as soon as possible. Kind of my goal at this point. I just don't see anywhere to go in that room. So coming into this one seems to be some sort of trap doors or something like that. And we just ran into a brand new enemy. Had to take it out. It was trying to spit mucus on us or something. And now we came down here. It's dark as usual. Can't see where I'm going. Mostly. Now we're gonna have to fight this fly all of a sudden. That was added to the book. I thought that fly was feeding on that corpse, but that thing came back to life and is trying to attack us right now. This game is getting pretty freaking dark. So we just took both those things out. Collected a whole bunch of silk orbs. Found some sort of lock and door. Checking it out and it's saying apostate. I don't have nothing for that door right now, so we're gonna have to head a little further down. And we got hit by that trap. Before we head down though, there is something else I wanted to check out. Well, it's something. Found some shards. And the fly reappeared out of nowhere. I thought once you take care of an enemy in an area, it's not supposed to reappear. The fly didn't get the memo. It came back. We just found ourselves a Bellway station. Inserting the rosaries, the music's playing. And we're not going to be calling the Bell Beast just yet. We're just going further down this way. And this seems a little different. We found ourselves a brand new level with Mount Fay. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be there yet. And there seems to be some sort of freezing effect that was affecting Hornet. Found ourselves a bench here though. Just took a little seek trying to find a breakable wall. Didn't find one. Still trying to find a breakable wall. Anywhere I can too. I'm not gonna be shy with it. Just avoided that trap. Nothing there neither. I'm gonna be heading back up and trying to see if there is somewhere to go so we can explore the slab. Just need some silk first up. Not sure if this guy drops rosaries or not. He only drops shards? That guy sucks. Gonna be heading up here now. My disappointment level has increased. Trying to fight this diseased fly right now that's trying to spit mucus on Hornet. That's what I'm going to be calling it. There's something in here. I don't know what it is. Or maybe it's just light. That just got caught up in the snot bowl too. Just knocked that out of the cage. And that turns out to be a shard bundle. Not exactly what I was trying to look for, but it's something. Now we're trying to fight this freaking moth. This thing is kind of annoying sometimes. Like you would think it's an easy kill, but this guy just stays elusive and somehow it does get his attacks in there. At least for me. Well, we took it out. And I'm still trying to find somewhere to go. Well, that thing just broke away real quick. Now I have to take care of another one of these moths, though. I'm going to take my time with this thing. Use a claw line when I can. At least we got a full silk wheel right now. Here's something. And we found ourselves another one of these spiders. Gotta take this thing out real quick. And another one appeared. One after another. These things are living here in pairs. Not gonna make assumptions. Okay, let's go out here, and we just found ourselves in Mount Fay again. Now, after a while, I didn't find anywhere to go in the slab at that point. So I have to come over here, and we're gonna be doing a complete exploration of Mount Fay. We found ourselves Shakra right off the bat. Let's go ahead and get him out. We ended up talking to him for a little bit. Now we're going to be buying this map of Mount Fay for 40 rosaries. We still have 604 rosaries at this point, and we may as well just spend a little more on something else here. Dark marker seems like something I want to get, so we bought that, and we're just going to be leaving it at that. And at this point, that's what the map looks like. We're going to give this place a try and see what this place is all about. Heading up here. And it seems like these lights are giving us some sort of warmth. So that's the first thing I'm getting from this thing in the beginning. Just jumping up. Okay, that didn't really work out. It didn't really jump high enough. And I'm starting to find out that once a certain amount of time has passed, you start losing a ton of life hella quick. So after dying a few times, I actually found another area on the other side of Shakra. And going over here, we're finding something to inspect. And it's giving us a little bit of a message. It doesn't give us anything else, and we're back here. So after dying hella times, I finally started getting the hang of this thing, and I started using claw line a little bit more effectively. At the same time, it really didn't make too much of a difference since I still started losing life until we got to this light. But I started not caring as much about how much life I had and started just moving. And that seemed to have helped. And also, another thing that helped was after using claw line, I just basically just let it go and let Hornet jump by herself, which does elevate her a little bit. It helps a tiny bit, but it doesn't really elevate her too much. Now at this point, which took me a couple of times, because the first time I just dropped all the way down, but I learned that there was a little space here that you can actually land. So now we're going to be going down this hallway, and we found ourselves some silk. We just found ourselves more light, which we're going to be using to keep ourselves warm until we reach the next light. Luckily, there are a fair amount of lights in this hallway. Unfortunately, at the same time, there's this thing here trying to kill us. It's kind of tough in that this laser can track you a little bit, so you have to move around at the right time, or else that thing's gonna catch you. And it does do a fair amount of damage. Another thing I'm having an issue with is actually running into this damn thing. And it's happening quite a bit. I don't know what I was trying to do right there, but we got smacked again with the laser. Finally took that thing out, and we only have a single alien head. Found myself another one of these breakable walls, which I do like finding. And we found ourselves a brand new area in Mount Fay. This area is going to be a little trickier in that you only have a split second. Well, not that quick, but you have a very short amount of time in order to move around. So after using claw line, I'm just doing a little pogo, and I'm up on the wall after using that ring to hang on for a little bit. Now we found ourselves a new light, and I'm totally abandoning that cocoon down there. I find that it's not really worth it at this point since I lost all of my rosaries. Okay, we just landed in the water again, using that ring, bouncing off of that bug. I don't know what to call that thing. But we found ourselves another light, which would act as a sort of a checkpoint in this section. Just broke off that bit of rock. And we're here now. See a bench down there. I don't know how to reach it. Okay, we're freezing again. I kind of want to reach that bench since we're kind of low on life. And it would be nice if we had this as a checkpoint as well. Just gathered some rosaries, which gives us 38 in total. Well, we got 44 now. Alright, found ourselves a brand new area in Mount Fay, as well as this heat right here. Alright, gotta go back down and try to find a way to this bench, which I think if we just go around, so we're going to be going all the way to ground level, and I found myself a breakable wall, which gives us access to this bench. Unfortunately, this thing costs 60 rosaries and we only have 44. So I had to go backwards into the slab and fight all sorts of enemies to get all the rosaries I needed for this freaking bench. Now we're back here to pay this 60 rosary fee. And we're having the opportunity to sit down for a little bit, which was our prize for doing all that stuff. We died hella times, by the way, trying to get back here. Alright, we're out here now. And there's actually a mass fragment that's in that castle-like structure. I don't know what to call that thing, that tower. But we don't really have anything to get there. So we need that double jump, which is going to be our main reason for being at Mount Fay. Now we're in this newest section, and this part is kind of tricky in that you have way more obstacles you have to go through in order to reach the next area. So after dying hell of times, I learned how to do it. You have to do this pretty quickly in that, well, not quickly in that you're going to end up killing yourself. You're going to have to time this out a little bit with how fast silk reproduces, especially if you're low on silk. You're going to have to time it. If you need to hang on there for an extra second, it's best to do that. Now that we're over here, I used a couple of claw lines just to get the rest of the way there. And we're in this cave now, which is kind of tricky in itself in that you're going to have to avoid all these spikes. If you take this slowly, then it's not too bad. Now this part, you're going to have to hang on this wall. I didn't know that the first time and just fell into the water and died. Kind of did that now. And we're going to be using claw line to bounce off these iron bee things. And we only have a split second to move around like usual. Kind of messed up there. Got back on that wall. Not really recovering from this. And I had to do this multiple times in order to learn what to do. Now you've seen this, we're moving hella fast. We got to that wall, which was the biggest mystery to me, since I thought we're just going to be bouncing off that bee thing and onto that ledge. That's not how it works. You're going to have to bounce off that thing and then claw line or just dash your way over to that wall on the opposite side. Now we're over here and we found ourselves a brand new roll of silk. Grab some of it. Just going to keep it moving. And we found another one of these things, which I don't like. The thing is trying to destroy the lights in this hallway right now, which is the problem. And also that laser beam takes off quite a bit of light. Already kind of low right now, but I did fill up my silk wheel, so I have enough to heal. But I was kind of freezing for a little bit. It looks like we found ourselves another one of these breakable walls. Check the map for a while. Now this is a brand new section to this level, and we're going to be having to use a lot of these rings and stuff, which isn't too bad. We made our way up. It's getting kind of dangerous, but luckily we found ourselves another one of these benches behind this breakable wall. I'm heading up. I don't really know what to do at this point. So we're gonna have to sit here and rest and get warmed up and try this again. Get onto that ring, which brings us up to that wall. Kind of ran into that bee, messed up a few times. Now I'm learning how to do this, and it's gonna take a little bit of time. And we finally got to this light, hopped on over, just basically float downward. Jump pretty quick right here, and we're up here now. Use a claw line to bounce our way up a little bit. And we kind of got here in the nick of time since we almost started losing life. Getting onto this wall, and you see the cocoon up there. This isn't the first time we did this, nor the fifth. Like I said, I had some tribulations trying to get through this level. To be honest, I spent hours doing this. It's not really one of those things I enjoy in games where you're just jumping around and that's all you're doing. I like a little bit of action, like fighting bosses or stuff. If this is included with that, then that's better for me, but we made it all the way to the top. Trying to see if there's some sort of breakable wall here. Didn't really find nothing. But before we go any further up there, which looks like it's going to be a pain in itself, trying to see if there's something on this side. Didn't really see nothing. So we're just going to try this again, just to make sure. You never know. Either way, just floating down here now. Alright, glad I didn't land on the spikes, and we're just going to be floating all the way to the top. And now that we're up here, we have something to inspect, and it seems to be an ancient mechanism. And we're using the needle. I'm hearing something. Well, damn. That thing's huge. Start screaming out of nowhere. Start going insane. But it looks like we received the Faydown cloak. Fabled feather down layered with the cloak. Leap again while airborne. Soar above foes. Reach new heights. Strike from above. Now this thing's looking kind of friendly. It's just chilling. Alright. Just giving it a little bit of respect. There's our double jump. Time to see what else is on here. And this double jump just gave us the ability to go into this area. I don't know what's behind this place though. It might be the other part of this level, I'm assuming. Alright, maybe we should go back a little. You know what, never mind. I think we already seen everything on that side anyways, but I might not be too sure about that. So I gotta check it out. Ah, damn. Well, we just ran into some spikes real quick. Oh, there's something here. And we found ourselves a little bit of silk. I mean, it might not mean much, but if you need to heal, then this thing's here for you. Along with that light. So we're going back up here and checking that other area out. Looks like the only way is down. Nothing but snow down here. Just gonna be floating the whole way. Good thing too, since there were some spikes down there. Or it could have been shish kebabs. Alright, we found our way all the way down here now. There's a switch. I'm not going to be activating that switch just yet, but maybe we should. Just for now. Found a whole new area right up there. So we gotta check that thing out. Alright, that didn't really work out. Using the double jump now, which is actually required for this area. You're not going to be reaching that little B unless you can't double jump. Use claw line just to jump a little higher, and we're up here now. Just going to keep continuing. I have a feeling we're going to be finding something. I'm hearing somebody. Just going to be going in here. And it looks like we found the mask maker. It looks like he only takes care of, I guess, people with, or bugs without a mask. But now we're in this area of Faydown. And we found ourselves a little secret area along with these chunks of ice. Now we broke this chunk of ice, which frees this flea that escaped, so that was something worth finding. And now we're here right by our bench that we unlocked with the rosaries, and we got the mass fragment that I was saying I was going to be coming back for. And I think we successfully explored every single inch of Mount Fay, which really doesn't seem that big. At the same time, with all the obstacles and everything I went through, it kind of seemed like I went through hell and back. I'm going to be honest about that. Now, after this, I'm not sure if I'm going to be exploring the slab or not, since it's kind of closed down. I don't see any way of going any further in that place. I did see another level I was interested in, and I'm probably going to be heading there next. So if you like this episode, you can leave that like, subscribe, and even slapping that notification bell. Want to thank you and everyone that subscribed to the channel. Until next time, hope you have a good one. Peace out.